Change your life. Get yourself a Henry sleep pillow.
Oh, these are so much more comfortable. Good morning. Welcome to the final video in the December daily vlog series. I know, crazy, it's already coming to an end because the two goals we had for the series was to get me more experience with editing and putting out content more regularly on YouTube in a longer format, and for you guys to get to know me better. What better way to end it off than to do a Q&A? So without further ado, let's go to Instagram, where I asked you guys to ask me your questions that you have for me, and there were a lot of them. I'm actually shocked. I only posted it like an hour ago on my Instagram and there's already a ton of questions. So let's get at them. We're right here, literally 2 steps away from where I always film the talking head stuff. So I guess the first question that I'll answer is one that was asked 2 times. Where do I film all of these videos? This is just in another bedroom. You can see bed right there. This is a light fixture above me. And that's literally just a spare bedroom that we have. So turned it into a little bit of an office for myself / place to film without bothering Jesse, because as you can imagine, I talk a lot and then I'm walking on a pad as well, so hearing ying 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 ying, hey calories, ying ying ying, you know what I mean? It can be a lot. Hopefully that answers that question. Favorite energy drink and flavor? Tough one, I know. Do a top 3 perhaps? Whoa, wow, we're really starting off with a banger. I mean, top 3, holy crap. There's so many good ones. I mean, honorable mention right away to Monster for the white one, which kind of started the zero sugar trend, although that's not in my top 3. In no particular order, I'm gonna give my top 3. Again, I don't know which one I would say is the top 1, but I'll give you 3 that I really like. The blue Monster Ultra Mango Fiesta, that one is super dope, really like that one. I like a lot of the Alani stuff. I think they're really underrated and at a pretty decent price point as well. I've been trying to expand my horizons a bit. I won't say that I dislike Rockstar, that's not true. They're like, okay, like if you get them because there's nothing else, they do the job, they're fine, but they don't like wow me. Probably for another top 3 would be like the Ghost Energy, probably the blue Sour Patch one from Ghost. That one is like the other top 3 that I would put if I have to be super specific. Honestly, I feel like you can't really go wrong if you like energy drinks with any of them, really. Even the Legion ones are really nice, but for different reasons, right? Like we're talking strictly on flavor here. I don't think flavor the Legion ones can compare, but I do think that the Legion ones, in terms of like no crash, they're fantastic. I'm gonna answer this one, and I'm gonna pair 2 questions and answer them here all at once. So did you finish holiday shopping yet? And why didn't you call your vlog series Vlogmas? This might come as a shock to you guys because I'm white. I don't celebrate Christmas. What? I never grew up celebrating Christmas. I mean, I do remember one year when I was a kid, our parents did try to organize a little Christmas thing for us. And it was the year, I'm gonna age myself here, but it was the year that the Game Boy Color came out and Pokemon Yellow came out. Or I guess Pokemon Yellow was like around. So like that was a long time ago. And I'm not gonna say we came from broke, but my parents immigrated here to Canada, and let's just say that the older I get, the more I realize and the more I recognize how much they had to sacrifice to provide for 2 boys in a country where their education was now non-existent, even though they were educated, both of my parents, but it doesn't count in this country, or wasn't recognized, I should say. So aside from that, I don't really remember us doing a lot of Christmas, but we've always celebrated New Year's. So for that reason, I still kind of do holiday shopping, but I don't do Christmas shopping, really. That said though, my brother's birthday is on the 29th, so it's coming up, and my dad's birthday is on the 2nd of January. That is a big reason why I still do holiday shopping, and we like to start off the new year right with not a big gift, but we get everyone something to just start the new year off with. It's kind of like more of a superstitious good luck kind of thing than anything. Do you intend to continue making YouTube content? Yeah, that was the whole purpose of this, and super valid question. The whole purpose of this was for me to get the reps in. I was always so intimidated of the editing process. Even still, I would film videos and just never edit them, or film them and put off, or not film them and put it off. And I have so many projects that I had great ideas for that I never did anything about, because really like fear of failing, but also fear of not making it good enough, which I guess goes hand in hand with the fear of failing. I wanted to use this as a catalyst, so to speak, because I always do extremely well when there's deadlines. I never miss deadlines. That was a big reason why I started this series. And of course, for you guys to get to know me a little better, because most of the questions I get, and I'm sure we'll get more of them throughout this Q&A, but most of the questions I get are like super simple, like about myself. They're like about my personality, about my life. I already saw that I got like 4 of, like, what do you do for a living? Well, now that you've seen the vlogs, I mean, that person hasn't, but clearly I'll just say to that person that asked, what do I do for a living? Just go watch the vlog series. You'll find out. Yeah, it's just super simple stuff like that. I recognize that me as a creator, I need to remember, oh my gosh. Me as a creator, I need to remember that you are watching this as a consumer. So you don't have all the information that I have in my head. For me, a lot of times I'll make content and go, oh, this is a pointless detail. I'll leave this out because who cares? Like, just because I don't care about it, because I live it every day. But many people are curious, right? And so am I about other people. Did want to get a better grasp of what were those questions that people want answered and how can I answer them? And also how can I do it more frequently? And truthfully, the whole reason why I started social media was to make YouTube videos. And then all of a sudden, I don't want to say it blew up, but I did blow up on Instagram and TikTok because they were a little bit easier for me to get in on, because they were a place where I could filterless kind of let out my thoughts. And same with Threads. Like, Threads is just a written format of that. So they were a great push for me. And now I really want to make sure that I continue with YouTube because that is ultimately where my goal lies. What's the biggest win you've accomplished recently? Finishing this is a pretty big win. I can't express to you guys how tired I am. This has taken roughly 6 to 10 hours every single day of my life. And that honestly isn't even including the film time. If I include the film time, it's probably like 6 to 12 or 14 hours. It's really tough to post something every day, especially when you want it to be valuable. You want someone to really appreciate it. You want someone to be able to click there and be like, I like this person, I like what they're saying, and you know, this video like makes sense as a video. It's not a waste of my time. Because at the end of the day, YouTube has to be entertainment first, and it can't be too overly complicated. Because I know I would click away, right, if it's overly complicated. And then the other big issue, the big win, is getting a little bit better at making thumbnails. Like, I'm still not generating insane views on these videos, but I think I got 1 to 1,000 views, which for me was great. And then a few with a few hundred. So considering how low my following is, relatively speaking, that's a pretty big win. The next win, you know, I haven't mentioned it out loud, but I just hit 1,000 view hours on YouTube, and my goal was to hit 4,000. So if you do like any of these videos, share them with someone. I would really appreciate it, because my goal is to get 4,000 watch hours. And I don't know why I've always been so ashamed of saying this, but for the last 3 years, I've been creating content now. For the actual content itself, with the exception of, I think, less than 10 brand deals that I took money on. Sorry, there's been lots of brand offers that I have not taken. I say no to more than I say yes to, and it's not even close. It's like 90% of the things I'm offered, I say no to, just because it doesn't align with my morals. So I digress. There's probably, in the last 3 years, maybe 10 or less paid spots on my page. But it's not enough to have 1 year of income across all those 3 years. That's why I really want to break into YouTube, because as a Canadian creator on TikTok and Instagram, I don't get paid at all for views. As an American creator, you have the Creator Fund. I guess next month we'll see what happens. But you have those things in the US where you can make money off of views. I don't. My only chance to do that is on YouTube. I'm not in the position to be doing philanthropic work with my videos. My videos take, even the short videos that are 1 minute to 1.5 minutes, require 3 to 4 hours from start to finish. And the long form videos require, you know, roughly on average, probably 10 hours. It's really tough to do that much work. It's unsustainable, and I've been doing it for 3 years. It really is unsustainable to do it and not be compensated at all for it. It becomes hard to justify after a while, where I'm giving up time that I could be spending with my family or doing other things where I could make money on, especially in today's day and age when everyone's struggling because it's expensive. I am also struggling to keep up with the cost of things, to try to make sure that me, as a type 1 diabetic, who, by the way, none of my jobs have insurance, so I have to pay into my own insurance. So for me to make sure that I can live my entire life and have no issues paying for my medication, I have to work extremely hard, and it's hard to justify making these videos when you don't get paid for them. All that to say, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I need to get paid, and I've done it for 3 years. I've done it long enough where it's time for me to transition to a way where I can make it still make sense for you guys, where you get the value you need, but also make it make sense for me where I can at least subsidize the videos, which obviously the brand deals so far have done an okay job of helping to keep me afloat. but definitely not enough to maintain buying new lighting, buying new equipment, buying all sorts of stuff. So literally every dollar I've ever been paid has been spent on trying to improve the value of these videos. Every single dollar I've ever made and more. Most of the money that I've ever spent on this actually comes from me. So have you ever shotgunned an energy drink? Would you? Well, I mean, all this talk about energy drinks, be right back. All right, I got myself an Alani energy drink. Shout out to Alani for sending me this. I don't know where, because I haven't seen them in any stores recently, but I would buy this upon seeing my favorite Alani all-time flavor, by the way, is cherry slush, if I had to put it down there, or like maybe the cosmic one. I kind of like that one too. I don't know, I'm into weird flavors. I digress. I didn't spend all that time almost dying putting in that light bulb in the shower for me to do this here and make a mess. Let's go into the bathroom and keep my space safe from a mess, because this is carpeted. Hi, we're in the shower. So for those of you that don't know what a shotgun is, can you please let me know down in the comments, is this a Canadian thing? Do they have them elsewhere? A shotgun, here's the proper form for a shotgun, because yes, I did spend time as an absolute degenerate in university, so I'm very well experienced with doing it with beers. Do I do it with energy drinks? Not normally, because who's doing that on a regular basis? One thing you want to make sure, you take the top, this part, okay, make sure your finger can slot under it. You're gonna go on the opposite side of that. You're gonna have a key like this. You're gonna jam into there. Make sure that when you do that, you tilt it upwards. I don't know if you can imagine, there's gonna be an air bubble somewhere here in the middle. As you tilt downwards, that air bubble is gonna pop up. That's why you're gonna do it right in here, and you're gonna make sure it's tilted down when you do that. Minimizes your mess. Tilting downward. See? Nothing popped out. Be very careful when you do this. This must be a Canadian thing because we drink beers hella fast. All right, that's enough dipping the key in there. Obviously be careful, this is still metal. I don't recommend you do this at home, but let's see if I can still shotgun. Now it's empty. Wow. Oh, since someone's probably gonna ask, the test? That's all that was left.
What did he say?
So, let's go back to the spare bedroom, AKA my studio. Oh, I'm very bloated now. Oh, all right, where were we? I guess I can shotgun a beer / an energy drink. I would say I'm pretty decent at it, but you can let me know down below what your thoughts were on that one. Hidden talent, perhaps? Who's to say? How did you build your body with diabetes? Oh, that's such a fun question to answer. That's very like multifactorial. How did I build my body with diabetes? I struggled a lot. I guess let me start here. For those of you that don't know, I have type 1 diabetes. Some of the funny things that we call this thing is my trend monitor, my air tag for Jesse to find me, and so many more. This is actually my continuous glucose monitor because I have type 1 diabetes. It makes things a lot more challenging. And obviously the person asking this question is either very curious or they are also type 1 diabetic. I always had a lot of challenges. Because of diabetes, it always instilled in me this like, you, I'm gonna prove you wrong anyways mentality. I mean, look, people curse, it is what it is, but that's how I see it in my head. I really want you guys to like grasp like how it's almost a violent, like people have a winter arc. I've had that my whole life about proving people wrong. Like, hey, you can't do this, you can't eat this. People have constantly been telling me that because of diabetes. Like they're trying to put this limitation on me that I've never felt like existed, despite the fact that obviously like when I ran my half marathon last year, there's a very big limitation that exists with having type 1 diabetes, 100%. But I've done my best over the years to make sure that I've consistently eaten. I still follow the same principles. I just have to know exactly what I'm eating in the sense of like my carbohydrates, and I have to be more on top of my medication. I have to be more resilient to failure. I mean that, and I know this now, having diabetes for 16 years? Having diabetes for 16 years, I know that I will be wrong in terms of my medication almost more times than I'll be right. I'll end up going high a little bit, I'll end up going low a little bit sometimes. It's very difficult for me to stay in the green forever. I mean, my pancreas doesn't work. It is what it is. Fitness also impacts it by bringing my blood sugar lower, and emotions impact it, and stress and sleep, and all of these things impact your blood sugar. And your blood sugar, if it goes very high or very low, makes you feel like shit both ways. So that's why, I mean, I have to be very resilient to that makes you feel like shit. Jesse will be the first person to tell you guys that I never complain about a headache. I never complain about like these small things because I literally go through them on a daily basis. So if I were to complain about them every single day, man, would I be a really annoying person to be around. And I'd like to think that I'm a pretty fun guy, not like Kawhi Leonard and not like a mushroom. I'd like to think of myself as a very positive person. I don't want to annoy people with my problems, and I have a lot of problems. Diabetes has given me these problems, but I'm very solution oriented. So I'm always looking at what's the goal that I have to hit. And for me, it's like, okay, well, diabetes stands in the way of it. All right, cool. Throw diabetes into the mix. I'll figure it out. I'll find a way. I was always a very skinny kid. I had to gain a lot of weight. I showed you guys a picture of me at my like leanest. I was like 120, 130 pounds. There's even leaner times than that, but obviously I don't have pictures of them because I was really embarrassed. And now I'm like 225 to 230. I just had to be really steady with it. And honestly, exercise has helped me with my diabetes blood glucose control anyways. And the fact that I am diagnosed ADHD. So it does really help me with both of those things. Ultimately, being more physically active makes me feel a whole lot better and makes me have to take way less insulin because my insulin sensitivity is higher, and overall is just the greatest thing in the world. So if you're a type 1 diabetic and you are watching this, get physically active, strength train, try to get your steps in and walking. Whether you're diabetic or not, you should be walking regularly every day. It'll clear your brain fog a lot of the time, even if you're in those positions where you're like, you just sat down, like I'm really comfortable right now. But when I edit this video, there's a walking pad right behind me that I'm sure you guys have seen if you've been watching the vlogs. I'll be walking on that walking pad, not at a fast pace. It'll be like a 1.2 to 1.5 miles per hour. I'll end up hitting like 12,000 steps a day. And that makes me feel good, makes my blood sugar control better, and helps me maintain that body, which is the original question that you asked. How do we eat healthy accessibly? Avocados, salmon, etc. can get quite pricey elsewhere. That's a great question. If you look back a couple videos ago, I made one about eating only at the dollar store. And while it feels like a little bit of an incomplete video because I only did it for one day, that video kind of goes to show how you can use canned food and frozen food to help hit your vegetable and fruit goal. While I'm not saying if you can have access, like if you do have access to certain foods, you can eat them fresh all you want. For example, bananas and apples are kind of easy, accessible foods for many people in the US and Canada. If you can eat those every day fresh, great, do that. I don't know that I would ever eat a canned banana, and I don't know that we ever have to, but canning and freezing of fruits and vegetables is one of the best things as far as nutrition is concerned. They're as high, if not sometimes higher in nutrient content than the produce that you receive. It depends on where you live, of course. And they're usually cheaper. Not only that, but they will stay for longer, i.e. they're more shelf stable. Because if you keep something in the freezer, you can keep it there for 3 to 6 months. So things like pineapple and peaches, I like to have in a can pretty much at all times. Same thing with corn or peas, things of that nature. So that's how I would do it. I would say to use those because they're usually picked at peak ripeness. So you don't have to worry about, was it ripe, was it not? Usually it is. And as long as you care for them, for example, in a can, you don't pierce it and then leave it on the shelf. And if it's frozen, as long as you're not playing with the freeze, you thaw it and then freeze it again, thaw it, freeze it again. As long as you can just keep the frozen fruits and vegetables in the freezer and keep them at a frozen temperature. And same thing with if you are using the can, if you open it already, put it in the fridge. As long as you care for them, they can help make things a lot cheaper and more accessible for a longer period of time for everyone. So definitely lean into those things as needed. They are significantly cheaper. Obviously, avocados and salmon. I mean, you can get canned salmon and it's actually pretty decent. Avocados, you can't, but you can also substitute other nutrients or other foods for the nutrients that you get from an avocado or a salmon. If you feel like you have to eat those foods, either you need to explore other foods for your palate, or you need to listen to different people for your nutrition advice. Drop the OnlyFans. While I think I could make a solid amount of money on OnlyFans, I don't think I'll ever be doing that. And by I don't think, I probably won't. How do I explain this? Some businesses won't invest in other businesses that are involved in marijuana or involved in drinking, like alcohol products or smoking products. Many businesses will not invest in you if you have an OnlyFans. That's why very specific brands will only work with very specific creators that already have an OnlyFans. Even if that OnlyFans is for like educational content, the stigma behind OnlyFans is that it is a corn website, if you know what I mean. Thought about getting a Patreon or one of those for educational purposes and putting a subscription wall behind it for some of my content, because again, I make content for free, as we spoke about earlier. This would help me to subsidize the rest of the work that I do and hopefully be able to increase my quality of life and hopefully give me that cushion that I need, for the future of my life with diabetes. I realize that OnlyFans isn't really a solution for that problem. And as far as the sensual content is concerned, I am in a romantic relationship. I have been for many years. It's not fair to my partner. And I look at it this way, if my partner did that to me, this is just my opinion. Doesn't have to be everybody's. But in my specific relationship, why would you give that to someone for $20? So in this case, Jessie has to pay with her patience to deal with talking with me on a daily basis. She has to deal with, you know, organizing her life around me. She gets all of the bad about me. She also gets the good from me, but she gets all of the bad from me. Why would I give someone all of the good from me on OnlyFans and all they have to do is pay 20 bucks a month or whatever? Do you get what I'm saying? You get all of the good without the bad for just $30 a month. Well, what's the benefit for someone like Jessie? That's how I see that with my romantic partner. And not that it's any of your guys' business, and I've said this before, but if she did that to me, I'd be pretty pissed. So that's just how our relationship is, and we both mutually respect that. I think I can confidently say that. So it is what it is. To each their own, but that's not gonna be my cup of tea. And I hope that you guys can learn to respect that, because that question comes up a lot. Is it difficult being so adorable? Yes, because it comes with being annoying. How tall are you? I am 182 centimeters, so just under 6 foot. But when I was on dating apps, I was always 6 foot. But yeah, I'm 182 centimeters, which is like 5'11". But again, 6 foot. Hopefully, if this is your first video watching, you press that subscribe button because I haven't pissed you off yet. And if you are a continued subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing and obviously making it this far, because that adds to that goal that I made. Most importantly, I just want to provide as much value for you guys as I can in the new year and want to do it consistently on YouTube. It will be my utmost top priority of 2025. And that's what I wanted to do with this series, is bring some momentum into the new year. It's been a lot for me, and I've still been posting every single day for the last over 160 or 170 days now on Instagram. So if you guys want, make sure you guys are following me there. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you are new. I promise to be making at least weekly content. With all that said, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. What day is your favorite day to consume YouTube content? So if I was to do maybe weekly content or maybe 2 times a week content, can you guys comment down below what your favorite days to watch content are, just so that I know what day, what time zone are you in, that kind of stuff. It would really mean the world to me, because it would make my life a lot easier, because again, I want to make content that is convenient for you guys to watch. I don't want to post it at times where it's inconvenient for you. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing the work for you guys, and you guys know that and appreciate that. I wasn't gonna answer this question, but there was one question about what the next or final giveaway is, because I haven't said anything about the 4th giveaway on my Instagram. I've been doing a giveaway every single week. The next playground. I'll let Giannis Antetokounmpo show you what this is.
This is like that. Now you see, like,
this has literally been sold out this entire month. So if you are someone that has a child, send them my Instagram or send them to my Instagram. I will be doing a giveaway on my Instagram. If you have a child, if you know someone with a child that wishes they could have got one of these, you literally cannot buy one of these right now. And you won't be able to buy one of these until end of January. But what I did was I got in touch with the company. This is the old packaging, but I will be gifting you guys. I will personally be paying to send it to you guys with my own money to make sure that you guys can have a cool start to the new year. Is it a little late for Christmas? Heck yeah, but I had to steal one of these from one of the stores. Not literally steal, we purchased it. But they didn't even have enough products to do an official giveaway where they send it out to you guys. So Next had to send this to me. Here, I'll show you. It's literally brand new, sealed in box with a travel case for the gaming system. It is so cool. I'm gonna make a video about it on my Instagram. We're gonna do a giveaway about it, but just so you guys know ahead of time, that's your sneak peek. I think if you have kids, you're gonna love it. Fruit Ninja is like one of my favorite things to play on it. It's so much fun. It really reminds me of like the Nintendo Wii, but an updated model of it, and it using AI and cameras instead of controllers. Super cool, couldn't recommend it enough. So get excited for that. This is the biggest giveaway yet, and we're ending it off with a bang. Well, I don't know. The Henry pillows are still pretty good. You can use code DIABETO to get yourself a Henry sleep pillow, by the way. Hope you guys have enjoyed another year around the sun. This video is getting way too long. I'm gonna see you guys later, and this edit's gonna be super difficult, but love you guys. See you guys in the next one.